Okay, now it's time to get into some meat of this algebra class. With the Cartesian plane, we're going to start talking about the distance formula. So any 2 points, x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2, these little sub numbers, this is what we call an index number. It just tells you that this x component is married to this y component, right? Remember, it's an ordered pair. Don't get them mixed up or you get crazy answers. Once you know what the points are, you can plug them through this formula. You find the difference between the x values, square them, add that to the difference in the y values, square them, take the square root of that. That's going to give you the distance. So there's the formula. There's a graph, Cartesian plane. Let's just pick 2 points at random. I put one here and one there. So we're going to find the distance between this point and that point. And remember, a point has no dimensions. So these are big points, I know. I like big points. But it's a mathematical point is a strange concept. It has 0 dimensions. It has no width, no height, no depth. It's just an idea. Okay, so this point is 3, 2. This point is -1, -1. So what we're going to do here is find the difference between the y's, okay? Remember, the y's are the straight up and down line and the x is the horizontal line. Right? There's the distance between this point and that y-intercept point. And this is the distance we're trying to find, right? The long side of the triangle, the hypotenuse. Now, if you draw these by hand, which you can, certainly can, make sure that when you draw your triangle, it has to be a right triangle, because that's what we're doing here, right? We're doing a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So let's go ahead and plug in our real coordinates, our real points, into the formula. Right? X sub 1 is -1, x sub 2 is 3. Subtract them. y1 is -1, y2 is 2. Subtract them. We get that. We square them. We add them together. Very nicely comes out to be 5. What you should know is that the numbers 3, 4, and 5 are what we call a Pythagorean triplet. That means that 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared, and any multiplication of those numbers, any multiples of those same numbers, will also be true. So let's say we multiplied them all by 5. So 15 squared plus 20 squared would also equal 25 squared, that kind of thing. So that's important to know. It's a good shortcut. So let's see what we did. There's our triangle. So the difference between the x's was 4. The distance between the y's was 3. And then we just did 3 squared plus 4 squared equals whatever the hypotenuse is squared. And it came out to be 5. But that's it. MGZ out.